Hey guys, I'm your host Triple C. How's everyone doing today? I have a pretty long video. Um, I'm going to go over my top 30 vehicles I had as a kid. These were my favorite vehicles growing up. I love each one of these. My top five though are going to be the ones that I like the best. Um, now, uh, some of these you may disagree with me. Some of them, um, you probably had and you liked it as well. Most of these, I believe, could be made for classified. Some of them could not be. Um, well, some of them probably won't be. I should say they could be, but they probably won't be. Um, let's start with number 30. Number 30, I'm sure a lot of people had growing up, was the Fang. The Fang was a pretty cool little gyrocopter. I'm assuming this is a gyrocopter because that's what it looks like. The only problem with this was the missiles never stayed on with these. They were so finicky, they always fell off. I had two of these growing up, and I always lost the missiles. But it was a lot of fun. Um, number 29. This is probably higher on people's list, but it it was an awesome vehicle. But really, none of these are in any particular order except for the last five. So, um, it was a his tank. The his tank is an awesome vehicle. Don't get me wrong. But it was just it wasn't one of my all time favorites, but it was up there. The Rattler. The Rattler is an awesome vehicle. Now, if you saw my video from last video I did, the Tiger Rat is my favorite vehicle of all time. This was an awesome vehicle for a Cobra. But the Tiger Rat, I love the color scheme. And in fact, it was on Joe's side. But there was another version of the Rattler that was more my favorite than that one, and I'll get to that later. Um, Cobra Claw. I had three of these growing up. No, actually, no. I only had one. I had one of these for Cobra Commander. He's the only one I used it when I was a kid. Everybody else used the Turbo or the Fangs. The Stinger, which I got two of these coming for classified, and I can't wait to get them. I never understood though why they had the them be able to stand on the back of this one, but not on the back of the vamp. This never made any sense to me because the rockets would blow your face away. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, that was really a cool vehicle though to have. I can't wait to get them. I ordered two of them for myself. Now this one I like better than the first one. A lot of people don't like this vehicle. It's a Hiss 2. It's a troop transport is what I like. It held two in the front, four in the back, and one on top. And it was an awesome Hiss tank. It was bigger than the original one. So I I'm not sure if Hasbro would do another Hiss for HasLab. I mean, if they did, it would have to be a Hiss 2 or Hiss 5 or 4. They're the most different ones. Hiss 3 is just like Hiss 1 but with more guns. No, with missiles instead of guns. Hiss 1 is the black one. Then there's multiple variations, red, white, and blue versions of that. There's a Hiss 2. Hiss 3 is the one with the missiles. Hiss 4 is a snake when it pops up, which I hated Hiss 4. And there's a Hiss 5. But yeah, I really like this Hiss. And if we don't get this, I'll probably have it engineered for a 3D printer. I know a guy that does custom 3D prints for me. Then there's the ferret, which we just got, but I, which is an awesome vehicle, and they did a great job with it. I still like the one I got from Makes by Mike better because it's the wheels turn. That's the only major difference with that, and the whistle stay on better. So I mean, it is a little better than the ferret from Hasbro. It looks great. Both versions look great, but I just prefer that one just a tiny bit more. But the tire paw, I'm gonna have to get the one from Made by Mike's too, and have both of them because I love that tire paw. Tire paw's number 5 on my list of favorite vehicles. Um, this one should have been higher on the list, but it's not in my top 5. It probably, but it's the Night Raven. Now I had this version, and I had the one from the G.I. Joe movie version. The one from the G.I. Joe movie version didn't have that little drone one, but it was a little bit smaller than this. So it looks more like the R71 Blackbird than this does. This one is a freaking awesome jet though. And I hope they make it. I really do, because this one would be a awesome. You know, it doesn't have to be 4 feet. You know, people think it'd be 4 feet or longer. No, I think 3.5 feet would be perfect for this scale. It doesn't have to be massive as long as it fits 2 characters in it. I mean, it can be out of scale as long as it fits the characters. This really isn't in scale either. I mean, this was not in scale either because you're able to walk in this part of the jet. It's not like it just sits and 2 people sit in front of the road, or sorry, one Blackbird. It's a pretty big jet. And there's a computer system all in the back of it. But yeah, would be an awesome jet to have. Now, where was it? Oh, yeah. Now, this was. I had 2 of these growing up, and I love these freaking things. The Stun. This has to be on a short list for Hasbro because there's 3 variations of the Stun. There's this one, the Dreadnought version, and the Python Patrol version. And Python Patrol, we need that Motor Viper for Python Patrol. That would be awesome. Having 2 of the freaking stuns. And we need the Asp for the, which, if we get the Asp, that means we're getting a Python Patrol Asp later on, too. So that'd be awesome, too. On, Questio Crow's video, he hinted at the Asp that he thinks is going to be the next towable item, which would be cool because then we can get the Python Patrol version of that too. Which, you know, I never understood why they made a Python Patrol Asp when there's nothing that can tow it until later on. There is a Python Patrol Stun. I mean, not a Stun, Stinger, but I don't know if they'll do that or not. Next up, Thunder Machine. This has been heavily rumored for a long time to come. And I hope it does. To be honest, I would love it with Thrasher to complete the main 5 Dreadnoughts. Because it was Thrasher, um, Torch, Buzzer, Ripper, and who was the other guy's name? I forgot. I already forget the other guy's name. Not Zartan, but the other guy. Hmm. He was the one that was that try out for Dreadnoughts. I can never remember his name. Then there's this one, the Maggot. Only one of these growing up, but I love the Maggot. The Maggot was so much fun. It was cool because it was three parts. You had this part that would come out of it and have four legs to stand on. The bottom part would be a communications thing, and this would be like a little tank. The problem was that the satellite dish would always break on this on all these, and there was a one for Night Force also, but this is what I can't really see them doing because it is pretty big and pretty out there. Although I would love to get the Worms character. This is the Buzzbore. The Buzzbore is a great vehicle. I have one myself that I had Pixie's design print for me. He has them on his store. He made a great one. Plus, also Mace by Mike's with this Buzzbore too. Now, this one is the Adder. And I used to have so much fun using this. I had two of these growing up. And I used to have this, the only thing that could take out the Rolling Thunder. Because of the rockets. Not, because it was, the Rolling Thunder is so big. Um, then there's this one. The Fang 2 or 3. I can't remember. The Fang 2. The Fang 2 was a unique gyroplane. A VTOL plane, I guess it would be VTOL gyroplane. It was it had 6 missiles on it, and a front body cannon, and the wings would be able to pivot to go straight up and forward. It was pretty cool. I mean, I only had one of those growing up. Then this is the Parasite. The Parasite was a very weird vehicle. I had one of these too. These were just one of these. But it was a lot of fun. You're getting to those gaudy colors. This came later in the line. The purple and the orange. I believe this is part of the Eco line, but I'm not 100% sure. Because I got it later on. Cobra Mamba. That is an awesome helicopter. It had two propellers, which I still know that would spin at the same time without touching each other. That is pretty remarkable feat of engineering, you ask me. But it had a little spinning device where you could spin the propellers and they would spin and they would be in sync with each other and not touch each other. It was pretty awesome. And it had two drop pods on it, so you can fit 3 characters in it. The Rage. Now I had this version and the blue version, so I had two of these things. The blue version came out later in the line, but this is from the Dick series. I actually really like this vehicle. I think it's a cool vehicle. They had a lot of cool vehicles, even though the cartoon was terrible. But I really enjoyed it. It was a really low vehicle too, so it was pretty cool. And the wheels were pretty slick on it, so it wouldn't always roll on smooth surfaces, but it would roll really easily on carpet. This is the plane. This is my favorite Rattler version. I know it's not traditional colors, but I like the gold, and I used to use this for my Iron Grenadiers because the copper is kind of goldish, and I used to use it for my Iron Grenadiers because I had red, gold, and black, or red, copper, and black. Uh, I know it had a Cobra symbol, but it was my Iron Grenadier plane. I only had two Iron Grenadier vehicles going up. I wanted more, but I couldn't get them. All right. Now, before I continue, I want to do an honorable mention. Never mind. Scratch that. Let's continue. Let's see. The Hiss 5 was redesigned for the movie, but it was considered the Hiss 5, and it's a pretty awesome looking vehicle, if you ask me. It only fits one person, I think, maybe two. I think two people, one in the front, one in the back. But I really like this vehicle. I had one of them. Mine was black though. It was the black version. Now this I had as a kid, but I had the regular colors of this. The first version, the Dreadnought Cycle. I'm hoping that they make this for GI Joes. Maybe classified. That'd be a cool vehicle to get for the Dreadnoughts. Maybe they do it as the Doom Cycle or something instead of the Doom Cycle. They give it to that guy. Um. All right. This is the Adder. The Adder. I love this vehicle. I used to use it with Python Patrol because it had the texture of a snake there, and it just had a stripe of a snake. It was cool because the wings would spread out, and it had a handle on the bottom of it for you fly it around, which is kind of cool. And then if you take off the clear parts here, if you can see them, of the missiles, you push them all the way to be able to shoot. Otherwise, they're out like that. Um, it came in a package like that. So, and you can fit one guy in the cockpit and one guy in the back of that bubble there. So it holds two characters. And it's small too. I mean, they could make that for easily for a store if they wanted to. One, two, three. All right. Um. Now I'm gonna do my honorable mention. My honorable mention is this. Is the night landing boat. It was my I only had two watercraft vehicles for Cobra. This was one of them. The other one was like a little submarine. It was for the movie though, and actually this is a water vehicle too. Actually, this would be this is number 6 on my list. Now the top 6 of these. Actually, did I do that one? Hold on a minute. I missed one. The Python Patrol. This is number 7 on my list. Python Patrol stun. I had 3 of these growing up. And I love this. Python Patrol didn't have many vehicles. Um, they had this, the Conquest, and the Ash. I never got the Ash. But I did have 3 of these and 2 of the Jets. Now, my top 6. How do I want to do this? Alright. Top 6. The Crimson Command, no, Cobra Crimson Command Chopper. It was a troop transport because it held 2 in the back, 3 in the front. It held more than 2. I think it held 4 in the back and 3 in the front, so it held 7 characters in it. And it had lights and sounds on it too, which is kind of cool. And you would hold the trigger, and or so you rotate the back of it, and the missiles will fire off. It also had a handle that would come down. No, it had a handle on the back of the wing here, of the tail fin, that you could hold and fire the noises that it made. It was pretty cool, and it had a bunch of different snake guns on the front of it. It was pretty cool. I mean, they had like snake heads on them, and the rotor, the propeller was shaped like a snake also. Top 5 vehicles. Okay, here we go. Number 5 on my list is the Bug. The Bug was awesome. I love this vehicle so much. It is a water vehicle. It had 2 jet skis on it also, and this part would be a little submarine that could be attached to it. And the whole thing was a submarine. It held a lot of characters on it. It was 2 in the front here, 2 in the side here, and um, 1 in the back here, and 2 more in the back also. So you hit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 9 characters on this, which is pretty awesome. Then we get into my top 4. These could be in any sort of order, but these are my top. From the Bug on are my top 5 characters. It could be in any sort of order, but um, the Python Patrol Conquest. I know we'll never get it, but I did love it. It was awesome. Because if we get the Conquest, it'll be the normal Conquest. I doubt they'll ever give us. I don't know why they're not giving us options to get the air versions of these vehicles that they had. Like for the Dragonfly, we could have got the Tigerfly. For the Ratlet, we could have got the Tiger Rat. And people probably bought 2 then. One of each. But, and for this, I'm hoping they learn the lesson and give us, 2, the Python Patrol version and the regular version. But they probably won't. Now, the next 2 are smaller vehicles. Overlord's Dictator. I had so much fun with this, and Overlord was one of my favorite characters growing up. He was my new Cobra Commander, basically, because my Cobra Commander broke at that time, and I had Serpentor, but he was on his last leg, so I had Overlord kill Serpentor, and Overlord took over until I got a new Cobra Commander, which was the armor version, and the armor version took over the Dictator and killed Overlord, which is... yeah, my mind was just weird that way. But then, this was one of my favorite vehicles growing up. It is the Evader. And this belonged to Darklon. Darklon's Evader was so much fun. I wish I would have had more than one of these, but I only had one. But it was Darklon's vehicle, so he's an individual character. But this would open it up, and you'd be able to sit him in and strap him in. But it was such an awesome vehicle, an awesome uh, sci-fi bike, and the gold and black made it pop. And I know someone that's making this right now, and they're gonna be selling it on their store. When they do, I'll do an update video on that. Then my last one. It is one of my favorite vehicles growing up. I'm not a fan of the color so much anymore. I wish it was black instead of orange, but it is the Razorback. Now I wanted the Demon going up, but I got the Razorback, and it was actually a pretty fun vehicle. It would raise up just like the Demon would. It's funny, back then they would add these transforming gimmicks to some of the toys. And you know what? I forgot to mention one. Where is it? That's, I forgot to mention this. This isn't my top 5, but I forgot to mention this. That was Dominator. This one would be transforming to the tank, as you can see, to a helicopter. Now, I don't see how a tank can become a helicopter, but, it worked in the cartoon. But it can't be that well armored. It was a helicopter, but maybe in their world it is. But the treads would fold in, and the propellers would fold out, and the tail would extend to the back, so it'd be a longer vehicle. And that's in my top 30, but not in my top 5. I forgot to mention that one. But yeah, the Razorback was one of my number 1 vehicles growing up. That and the Evader, Dictator, Path of Patrol Conquest, Crimson Attack Chopper, and the Bug were all my top 6 vehicles. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed my list. You guys learned a little bit more about me, about G.I. Joe, what I had growing up. The Bug, I am going to get that made by someone. Because that was a fun vehicle. I won't have it in those colors though. I'm going to try to get it in Iron Grenadier colors. I think it'll be better in Iron Grenadier colors. Or in the 78 colors, if we can get red and black. But yeah, if whenever I get something made for myself, I usually try not to get the original colors. On the off chance that Hasbro does do a 3D printed model, I can get their version of it and have their version as the main version and have my version as a custom version. But thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a little bit longer video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And please hit that like button. Tell me what your top 20 vehicles were growing up for Cobra. And or 30 if you want to do 30, I don't care. I'll read them all. And I want to shout out and thank a couple of people right now. Daredevil Dave, he's helping me get Tiger Paw, which I can't thank him enough. And Bobby World, he's helping me get the Cobra Commander Once a Man. He's helping me get that. So thank you both for that. And this has been one of the greatest communities and group of friends of fellowship, or whatever you want to call it, I've ever been a part of. So thank you guys. If you guys need anything from me, let me know. I'll do my best to help out anybody I can. I can't really go places that often because I don't have a car. I have to rely on other people. But if I can, I will help out. I'll see you guys later. You all have a great day, and catch you next time. Cobra! Bye, guys.